seems to me that anybody who wants to buy 15 acres of land for a cemetery, when we own 800 acres of land next to the town centre, it's absolutely crazy. You waste money to buy 15 acres of land, 10, 15 miles out of town, and we own 800 acres down the side of Roman Road. It's crazy. Secondly,
I'm not going to talk about the, unsurprisingly, about which piece of land you use. I just want to point out about why, if you go to North Waltham, you need a bus service. You cannot have a shared taxi service because the current service at the moment, as we've heard, is inadequate and it doesn't run on a Sunday. What are we doing? Cemeteries are a public service, and so crematoriums. And if you lay people to rest, you must put on a public service to get there. If you can't go and pay respects on a Sunday to your loved ones, what are we doing? So I'd say if you're going to go for North Waltham, you would have to have a subsidised bus service similar to the shuttle bus service we've got at the moment. I wouldn't say it run every 10 minutes, it could run every 90 minutes, every hour. That would have to be that, so people would know it would go from the town centre to the actual cemetery. That's what it would have to be. The shared bus service, a shared taxi service would not work. It would not be reliable, and it would end up falling to the side. And also, 15,000
disabled. I myself go to visit my husband's grave on a fairly regular basis, but I've seen people and talked to people that go there almost on a daily basis. Can you imagine how much that would cost? Or if they can't, especially at the beginning, until you start coming to terms that you've lost your nearest and dearest. I just wondered if...
But I think the one thing that's coming across loud and clear is that the North Waltham option is the least favoured of everybody you've heard so far this evening, including the professionals, let alone us councillors. It is the least favoured of everybody that we've spoken to about this, and that is a considerable number of residents. And the issue is, this is for the town. So if you stick it at North Waltham, you are genuinely doing the rest of the town a disservice. I genuinely think there are better options. We've got time to think this through. So let's do the right thing and not rush ahead with North Waltham, but look at those other options in a bit more detail.
Thank you very much, and well stuck. Councillor Cousins.
Yeah, I think I agree with Councillor Miller's comment there, which is we accept the challenge. It's just now the case of, do we think what's laid out in front of us is the right option? And speaking personally, I don't think the option at North Waltham is the right site. I am a Basingstoke resident. I'm not a resident of North Waltham, so when my day comes, I would like to be in Basingstoke, not North Waltham. One hopes it's a long time away, of course, but I mean, from looking at the paperwork, everything is geared towards let's take on North Waltham and let's get on with it now. Now, in the paperwork, we have got the option to extend the offer towards us from North Waltham. I believe that we should be looking to extend that potential offer, and we should be investigating other sites to look at. I think Many Down is the most logical place to consider. We own the land already. We don't have to pay out on top of it in order to gain that piece of land. It's already there and available for us to use. Let's use it. Tim mentioned his comment that we would lose potentially 200 to 250 homes. I mean, yes, we would have to find those another 200, 250 homes somewhere. But again, it's part of the challenge, and I'm sure that as a council, we can do it. I'm sure we can do it. So I will leave my contribution at that for now, Chair, and I will see what other members of the committee have to say.
Right, it's been very helpful. Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I'd just like to reiterate Councillor Day's point earlier about the fact that, you know, we've got to make sure that, you know, a sensitive issue like this is about people. You know, we're talking about revenue and costs and profits and everything else, and I think that's the thing we should make a note of and bear in mind in this committee, really, when we talk about it. Thanks.
I mean, we seem to be kind of like skirting around the issue. Obviously, we need to find a site, but obviously, time and time again, we're coming up with obviously the transport provision as being one of the biggest stumbling blocks, and I think it is. And obviously, we've got an urban town centre, and we're purporting to have a cemetery in a rural area. We're offering, or we seem to be offering, possibility of shared taxi services, or we seem to be offering the local current community transport providers or providers in the future will be able to provide transport to this cemetery in this rural area. But we're not firming anything up in regard to the transport. Yes, we do need to provide cemetery provision, but we also need to provide an assurity to those who are going to be visiting that cemetery provision that they will be able to get there when they want to get there. Obviously, you know, the majority of the time we're talking the elderly that are wanting to be visiting the cemetery. And obviously, as we know, as we get older, we're less likely or feel less capable to drive. We're more reliant on our family and our friends, and obviously then more reliant on this transport provision, which doesn't seem to have any firmness to it to me. It's, we may be able to have a shared taxi service, or we may be able to use these providers, but we'll sort it out in the future. I think our residents would want to have some kind of assurity that they will be able to reach their destination when they want to, and not have to rely on friends and neighbours to get them there, and also have that feeling that they'll only be able to visit when it suits others, because I don't think that's right for this type of provision.
Yes, so Councillor